Okay, welcome to our Joining in Light group. We watched The Shack on Saturday, and now we're joining for the desires, to look at the desires with Jesus, the Holy Spirit, in the light. So we'll begin with the light of divine being and ask Jesus what desire is most helpful to see in this joining. What we were hearing beforehand was the desire to kill innocence, relishing, attempting to harm innocence. So unless we're hearing anything else, we can go ahead and take a look at this one. I noticed that when I first heard the desire, it was kind of like a no, I don't have that. That was the first reaction that came. But not too soon after that, it was like, okay, yes, I have it. So I heard yes, that I have this desire and it's the desire to kill innocence, relishing, attempting to harm innocence.
Yeah, I noticed that I don't seem to see myself as innocent. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Good. Okay.
Yeah, and I was also asking like how this showed up in the movie, where I saw that play out for the characters.
Unfortunately, I didn't see the movie, so you know, I'll have to kind of go by your description of it.
Yeah. Yeah, and we'll share what we're hearing. Again, the desire is desire to kill innocence, relishing, attempting to harm innocence. And you see that he doesn't see himself as innocent. He's
He being the father, yeah.
The main character is not perceiving himself as innocent, and he's also not perceiving some events that are taking place as with innocence. But there is a transformation in the movie.
So are we relishing the desire right now, or are we still kind of looking?
Well, does anything come to mind from the movie that that was my first question, is if anything came from the movie that we're hearing that it would be helpful to see.
Yeah, like you say, Mac, the lead character, the father, did not see himself as innocent because he himself felt very guilty about a childhood incident with his own father.
Mhm.
And so there was a lot of guilt there and kind of hidden
Mhm.
grievance,
Yeah.
which really got exacerbated within the events of the movie. And then there's the death of his daughter, which he was having a very hard time mustering up anything but anger and vengeance and hate.
Yeah, I was seeing how kind of in the beginning he's when he's talking about his wife, he's saying my wife has a relationship with God, but I don't. So he's comparing and you know, he's starting to look though, I believe at the beginning. It's
That was the hardest thing for him to forgive, was his perception or interpretation of the killing of innocence.
mhm. Yeah, that's the desire that plays out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Greg, did you see the movie? I can't remember if he was with us that night of Saturday night or not.
Mm. What I'm hearing is that he's opening up to a conversation with Jesus. And that's uh so we can just look at the relishing of attempting to harm innocence, and yeah, just be with that, relishing attempting to harm innocence. It's using thought uh, against myself, trying to attack the light. And then also, when I was talking to Jesus about it, it was, kind of like there's a difference between killing and harming. And just the reminder that it's all the same. One thought of one thought of not pure innocence is it's the same as, so there's no difference there. It's the thought of that innocence can be killed, the thought that I can harm the light. The light can be harmed.
What I'm hearing is, I tend to want to think that it has to be something horrendous trying to harm innocence. And yet what I'm hearing, what Jesus is saying, the voice is saying, is that every time I judge a brother harshly, or I want to blame or condemn someone, that in fact I'm attacking innocence, because it's all an illusion, and I'm the one that's making up the judgment.
Yeah, wanting those two to coexist and be opposites. There's someone to harm and someone doing the acting out, harming someone else. So the one who's being harmed is innocent, and the one that's harming is guilty. So like trying to keep those two and say that innocence is the opposite of that, when we can see in the light that there's no opposite in innocence. There's no opposite to innocence. There's just a desire to say no to it. There's a desire to say no to innocence through desired experience. And it also feels like I withhold asking for help or asking Jesus. Because of that belief that in harm, that something can be harmed, that I could be harmed. Or killed. And I don't believe I mentioned it yet, but just for anyone that joins us through YouTube, watching this video at a later time, we use the Joining in Light Miracle worksheet as a reference guide for the joining, where there's steps given for joining. So right now we could just see where we're at with the worksheet, what step we're on. Is there anything is there like is there anything we're holding on to below the level of awareness?
I notice what I'm hearing is I notice I have a belief about innocence, is that no one is innocent. Everybody's guilty. Children are innocent.
Oh yeah, I really like that play of there's guilty and innocent. that those are not two sides of the same coin, like face of innocence, basically denying the desire that I have, and playing innocent. Not to look at the desire for the experience. So really wanting to keep those two at the same time. And we can just ask what the value is that in the desire. What do we get out of the desire to kill innocence, or relishing, attempting to harm innocence? It seems to offer innocence.
What's that again?
It seems to offer innocence.
Hmm.
You know, it seems like I can find innocence through this.
Hmm.
Oh, and then what are you all hearing for holding and releasing?
Yeah, I hear holding. there's this deep belief, I'm just seeing how deep this belief is, that no one is innocent.
Mhm.
And so that means everyone's guilty of sin or error, however you want to say it. So
Mhm.
that right there, that belief denies that the light is here.
Yeah, what I'm hearing is that the wanting to keep the perception of the body, of form, and um, so objective experience of the body.
The body being guilty, not
The
innocent.
body, yeah, the body can be harmed. The body can be harmed. The body can be killed. We can just do a light check. Is the light here? Can the light be harmed? Can the light be killed? And was there anything else we're hearing about the value of it? I'm hearing like entertainment, like a guilty pleasure. The story of it, that there's that attraction to something happening. Like anticipation and harm. So with the movies, we just, Jesus encourages us to stay as the light when we're watching the movie. And I had a mighty companion ask me about watching the movies, and I did want to share the link with him about the how we watch the movies, the guidance. And I saw that Kay had shared that at some point, so maybe we could share that as well. It's basically just, staying as the light, watching the movie as the light.
And which link is that?
Well, I think it was like the guidance worksheet. It was just a guide for watching movies. Okay, how are we doing? Or where are we at? We just want to check in and see what's most helpful right now.
What I'm hearing is that to follow God's way is to see everyone as innocent, and how much I don't want to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, not really wanting to see it as an error of thought. That's all the denial is. Denying my innocence is an error of thought. It's not. It's not really changing the innocence. The innocence is still perfect. It's still innocent. The innocence is still innocent. And the innocence is the light. Jesus, we can ask Jesus if the innocence is the light, and hear that within. And again, for everyone joining us, the desire that we are looking at is the desire to kill innocence, relishing attempting to harm innocence. And the movie we watched was The Shack, and it's a powerful demonstration of following guidance and accepting miracles, and getting into a or being in a conversation with Jesus, the Holy Spirit, God. And really being very honest. He was very honest. The lead character, was very honest about his interpretation. And then you see him open up to have it reinterpreted for him. Yeah, what I'm hearing is still to see what the value is. What is the value of this? How am I making this heaven to kill innocence and relish attempting to harm innocence? What I hear is escape.
Innocence is escape.
Seeking for innocence through escape. Like safety through escape, actually. I can escape harm and be safe if I don't look at this. If I yeah, I can be safe by not looking. And it's not wanting to see that that nothing can be harmed. That those two, that harm cannot coexist with innocence, with the innocence of God. So we can just be with that contrast.
Mhm.
of the innocence, the light, and the idea that something can be harmed, that it can be killed, that it can be harmed. And we want to ask if we're ready for a miracle, or if there's something more we need to see. Yeah, I also hear it's not valuing true innocence. So Jesus, do we still have this desire? Is there more to see, or are we ready to see this differently? Do we want to? Are we holding or releasing? And Mary, we're getting close to our 40 minutes
Okay.
of joining. So we just want to check and see what's most helpful right now. If we're going to, if there's anything else we need to see, to share.
I'm hearing that it's really useful to look directly at it and all the beliefs I have around it. And it seems like the impossibility of innocence on the one hand, and then the desire to kill it off on the other.
Mhm.
The light.
Mm. Yeah, this may be, one that we sit with for some joinings to come.
Mm-hmm.
And tomorrow evening will be live, correct?
Yes.
Do
Tomorrow.
we have a topic for tomorrow
Yeah.
evening, or?
Yes, we do. It's looking at the value of emotions. Do emotions, expressing our emotions, really bring about healing?
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
So that'll be live tomorrow night at 7.
Okay. And then I'll be back Thursday to facilitate another joining on the movie The Shack. That'll give everyone an opportunity to watch the movie or watch it again or again. I think I've seen it like 5 or 6 times now. So I can watch that movie every day. It's beautiful. So thank you all for coming and joining on this. And if you need the list of desires, just let us know. We have a list. We're going off of a list of desires from the movie that came up from our joining on Saturday. So that can be, we can send that off as well. All right.
There's my timer.
Yes.